It was a rainy Tuesday afternoon in London. The sky was grey, the streets wet, and the sound of raindrops on the window filled the quiet room. Anna sat beside the window in her small apartment, holding a cup of tea that had long since gone cold. She didn't drink it. She just stared out, lost in thought, her phone in her hand. Her fingers hovered over the screen, hesitating. 3 weeks. That's how long it had been since she had last heard from Mark. She closed her eyes for a second and remembered the first day she saw him. It was in the beginner English class at the community center, 6 months ago. She had moved to London from Poland to work in a bakery. Her English was basic. She could read signs, say hello, ask for help, but conversation was hard. She felt alone in this big, noisy city. The classroom was simple. A whiteboard, some old chairs, a kind teacher named Mrs. James, and students from all over the world: Turkey, Brazil, Somalia, China, a broken bar in Spain. Mark was sitting near the window, just like her today. He had curly brown hair, tired eyes, and a soft smile. When Anna walked in, nervous and clutching her small notebook, he was the first person who looked at her and said, "Hi, I'm Mark." From that day on, they sat next to each other every class. They helped each other with vocabulary and pronunciation. They laughed at their mistakes, like when Anna accidentally said kitchen instead of chicken, and Mark once asked someone if they wanted to eat the table. Anna looked forward to class every week. It was the one place she felt safe, where no one judged her for her broken English. After class, Mark always walked her to the bus stop. They talked, using simple words and sometimes gestures. "You like music?" he once asked. She smiled and said, "Yes, Polish songs and sometimes English songs I don't understand." They laughed. On Saturdays, they began meeting for coffee at a small cafe tilde copyright near the park. They brought their notebooks, helped each other study, and shared stories from home. Mark talked about his family in Madrid, his younger sister who loved dancing, and his father who owned a small bookstore. Anna talked about her mother's garden and Krakow tilde cube W, her little brother who always broke things, and her dream of becoming a nurse someday. Then, 3 weeks ago, Mark stopped coming. No message, no call, just a broken bar silence. At first, she thought maybe he was sick. Then she thought maybe he was just busy. But after a week passed with no word, worry started growing in her heart like a storm. She texted him once, "Hey Mark, are you okay?" There was no reply. She told herself not to panic. People disappear sometimes. Maybe he went back to Spain. But why wouldn't he tell her? Every night, she stared at her phone, waiting. Every morning, she checked again. Nothing. The empty screen became a kind of quiet pain. Now, she sat by the window, the rain falling harder outside. She thought of the way Mark always tried to help her say long words. She remembered the way he listened carefully when she spoke, never laughing at her mistakes. She remembered how he once said, "English is hard, but friendship is easy with you." Her fingers moved slowly over the screen. She typed, "Hi Mark, I hope you are okay. I miss our talks. I want to call you a broken bar one last time. Is that okay?" She read it again, nervous. Her grammar wasn't perfect, but the feeling was true. That was enough. Her thumb hovered over the send button. Her heart pounded. She pressed send. The message went. Anna stared at the screen. 10 minutes passed. 20, 30. She put her phone down and sighed. Maybe he had changed his number. Maybe he didn't want to talk anymore. And Anna, her phone buzzed. Mark was calling. She gasped and quickly picked it up. Her hands trembled. She answered the call with a shaky, soft voice. "Hello?" she said, almost a whisper. On the other end, there was a pause. Then came his voice. "Hi, a broken bar." Anna, tears filled her eyes. Just hearing his voice again felt like sunshine in the middle of winter. And in that moment, as the rain poured harder outside, she knew this was not the end. It was just the beginning of something new. Anna held the phone close to her ear, her heart racing. "Hi, a broken bar." "Anna," Mark said again, his voice softer and slow. "Mark, a broken bar," she whispered. "I was so worried." "Why no message? Why no class?" There was silence on the other end, just the quiet sound of breathing. Anna waited, afraid that the line might cut or that he would disappear again. But then, gently, He spoke. I'm sorry, a broken bar. I wanted to write. I didn't know how to say a broken bar. Hard things. My English is not good for this. It's okay, Anna said quickly. Just talk. I want to listen. Mark took a deep breath. My father broken bar. He got sick. Very sick. I flew to Madrid 3 weeks ago. Everything a broken bar happened fast. Anna's eyes filled with tears. She could hear the tiredness in his voice, the heaviness in every word. I'm so sorry, Mark, she said softly. He had a heart attack. Mark continued. I stayed in hospital with him. I didn't think about phone or class. I just a broken bar. I forgot the world. Anna nodded, though he couldn't see her. I understand. Family is first. I didn't want you to think a broken bar. I left you. I didn't want to disappear, Mark added. I did think that, Anna admitted, her voice trembling. But now a broken bar. I understand. There was a long pause, and for a moment, neither of them spoke. It wasn't awkward. It was quiet, but comfortably like a pause between two friends who didn't need many words. You still go to class? Mark asked, trying to change the subject. Yes, but it's not the same without you, Anna said. No one helps me say th sound. Mark laughed, and Anna felt warmth fill her chest. I will come back, he said. In 1 month. My father is better now. Not perfect, but a broken bar better. That's good. I'm happy, she said, and she meant it. They started talking more freely after that. The first part of the call had been heavy, emotional, uncertain, but now their voices relaxed. They talked about small things, how the bakery where Anna worked had a new manager who always forgot her name, how Mark's little sister tried to speak English with him and always said I am boring instead of I am bored. Anna giggled. I said that too before. I am boring today. They both laughed. Then, Anna grew quiet again. Mark a broken bar. When I sent the message, I said A1 last time. I thought a broken bar. Maybe it was really the end. I read that, Mark said, and I was scared. I didn't want it to be the last time. She looked down at her cold tea, the cup still in her hand. So maybe broken bar, this is not the last time? No, Mark said quickly. It's the first time again. Anna smiled, her eyes suddenly full of hope. Mark added, I want to start again. Talk more. Not only in class. Even if we speak slow, or make mistakes, I don't care. I want to talk with you. I want that too. Anna said, we can speak every day. Even just 5 minutes. It helps a broken bar. My English, and my heart. Mark chuckled. Good for heart. Better than grammar book. Yes, Anna said, laughing. There was another pause, but this one was full of comfort. Then Mark asked, Anna, a broken bar. When I come back, a broken bar. Maybe we go to Café Tilde Copyright again, the one near the park? I'd like that, she said, but only if you don't laugh when I say the wrong thing. I never laugh at you, he said. I laugh with you. Always with. Anna felt tears rise again, but this time they were happy ones. She had spent 3 weeks thinking something was broken forever, but now a broken bar. Here he was. Maybe their English wasn't perfect, maybe their lives were still full of struggle, but this connection, a simple, kind, patient bond, was something real. They stayed on the phone for almost an hour. At the end, when they said goodbye, Anna's heart felt light for the first time in days. After the call ended, she sat still for a moment, holding the phone to her chest. The rain had stopped outside, and a small beam of sunlight touched the window. She picked up her notebook and wrote one sentence on the first clean page. Sometimes, even broken English can say what the heart feels. Then she smiled. Because that one last call, it wasn't an ending. It was the beginning of something more beautiful than she had ever expected.